Hi guys, welcome to Simply Scuba. Here we have the Fourth Element Hotfoot Sock. So a nice warm sock made to be worn underneath a dry suit. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so time for a quick review. Let's get 60 seconds on the clock, and we are looking at the Fourth Element Hotfoot Sock. So this is kind of a continuation of almost the Arctic range. It's kind of a hybrid between the Arctic and sort of thermocline. So it's a dry suit sock that's going to keep your feet nice and warm. We've got a very plush layer on the inside, which is going to stay sort of really soft against your foot, but it also wicks moisture away from you very, very effectively, so your feet stay nice and dry. And then we have an external sort of hydrophobic layer, which just sort of keeps that water away from you, so your feet stay nice and warm, but they also stay nice and dry, but with minimal bulk as well, so you're not going to get sort of too crowded in your dry suit boots. So that's the Hotfoot Sock. Let's take a closer look at all of its little features. Okay, so let's take a look and see what you actually get. So this is how it's going to arrive at your door. So this is their new sort of eco-friendly packaging. So whilst it looks like sort of plastic, it's actually made out of a special kind of starch. So this is made from cassava starch, which is like compostable. It's that kind of, it breaks down over time. So it's not a plastic bag. It's actually quite good for the environment. Well, not good for the environment. It's better than a plastic bag. And then, yeah, obviously you get two pairs of socks. And this is the Hotfoot. So the Hotfoot is a thin sort of undersuit sock, but it's going to keep you nice and dry and also sort of nice and warm without too much bulk. So they're very snug sort of around the ankles, so that's going to keep them sort of in position, so it stops them from sliding up or down, especially when you're getting out of your dry suit. There's nothing worse than climbing out of a dry suit and then having to fish for your socks because they're still in there. It's a dual layer material, so on the inside you can actually turn it inside out, and this is quite good between dives to kind of air them out. So on the inside, this lining is pretty much the same lining as in their Arctic undersuit. So this is a very soft plush lining, very effective at wicking moisture away from your skin, so you stay very, very dry, which in turn keeps you nice and warm. The stitching itself, so this is flat lock stitching, so flat against your skin, it's not going to rub, so that stays nice and comfortable. And then the external layer, this is like a hydrophobic material, so if you do get a leak in your dry suit, the internal lining is going to be keeping you dry, and this external lining is stopping that water from kind of getting to your foot. So both together, it keeps you feeling nice and warm. So yeah, so it keeps that sort of constant layer of gas or sort of air, insulating air over your foot, but it's not sort of overly bulky neither. So if you have a fairly snug sort of boot or a sock in your dry suit, then it's not going to feel crowded and it's not going to be uncomfortable. So yeah, all in all, it's a good pair of socks for someone who doesn't need sort of quite so much insulation or that bulk. You want something nice and slim and streamlined. This is something worth looking at. Okay, so who's the Hotfoot for? So obviously it's made for dry suit divers. So someone who basically, they're diving in the kind of the summertime. They don't need a very, very thick sock, but they just need something sort of fairly low bulk, but that is going to keep you nice and warm. This is really what they're made for. Yeah, and that's basically, yeah, a dry suit diver who wants to keep their feet warm but doesn't want to have too much bulk around their foot. And that's the Fourth Element Hotfoot Sock. So a nice sort of fairly thin undersuit sock for the kind of the warmer months where you just need something to keep you dry, but nothing too bulky. So if you're looking at a piece of dive equipment and you want to see this type of video review because you don't know whether it's for you or whether it's worth buying, but you can't find it on our website, then by all means go to the manufacturer and just sort of go on their sort of contact us page and just say, oh, hey, can you send a sample of this to the boys and girls at Simply Scuba? And yeah, if we receive one, we will do this type of video for it. And if you are the manufacturer and you do make some equipment and you want us to sort of do this kind of review just to kind of boost your brand so that other people can see it, whether or not to buy your equipment or not, then by all means look down in the description below and there's an address there that you can send any sample to. Thank you for watching and safe diving. Okay, so this is how it's going to arrive. So this is their new sort of eco-friendly sort of packaging. So whilst it looks like a plastic bag, it's that kind of recyclable, eco-friendly bag made from cassava starch. Which I presume is like combustible, not combustible, compostable.
We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.